we'll start talking about the incredible things you're doing. So we'll let Betsy go first, and if you just say us 3 cool things about what you're doing and what you're up to, and then we'll get Randy, and then we'll jump in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm Betsy Densmore, and I am the president of something called the Academies for Social Entrepreneurship, which is an organization who, with the mission of promoting as much convergence between the best of philanthropy and the best of business as possible. And our expression for that mostly is to put programs together that support nonprofit organizations in figuring out how to generate earned income. So thus being more business-like, which we're doing for a couple of reasons. One is it makes the nonprofits more sustainable, and the other is that it makes them more sustainable both in terms of cash coming in, like Chrysalis is a great example, so is Goodwill, of what I'm talking about. And it also makes them more business-like and more impactful because along with the clients they're serving, they're now making customers of people who also believe in what they're doing. I came to this from a checkered career as a program leader for a global training and development organization, and 10 years of running a community foundation, and having been a serial entrepreneur myself.
Thank you. Wonderful. Yeah. Randy, can you speak as concisely in as well?
As concisely. Some of you heard my story in the last, Think Together story in the last breakout group this morning.
Oh, right, you're in social enterprise too, sorry.
Yeah.
They're all social enterprises. Yes.
So I'm a former businessman. I was a stockbroker and CEO of a regional transportation company. I started an organization called Think Together that is a nonprofit education company on the side when I was a stockbroker. And I started doing it full-time then 5 or 6 years ago. We've grown really rapidly. We're going from $1.5 million in revenue 5 years ago to $55 million in revenue currently. And 1,700 employees and 50,000 kids every day. And it's gotten to be almost as big as my idol over here. Because they really said, Goodwill has really long been sort of, I think, the standard for social enterprise. And so we'll try to build sustainable models that can, in our world, serve at-risk kids.
Wonderful. I'm very serious about making this about all of us here, and I know we have a Habitat for Humanity representative here. We probably have other representatives of not-for-profit. So let's get the conversation going right away. For me, and I'll just throw one thing out, and we'll see what happens. So for me, the action seems to be now in this connection between not-for-profit and whatever you want to call it, the business,
private sector.
Thank you. Yeah, the private sector. But it seems to be these new models of as much that are private sector models that are doing good work as it is not-for-profits who are the traditional locus of good works that are using better business practices. So is that right? Has the action shifted from these guys to the for-profit world? And are you folks all dinosaurs, or is there something else going on? I'm trying to shock you into waking up here.
So I'm I said this earlier. I'm a Peter Drucker guy. I went from Drucker School. So a couple of things. One is either way, nonprofit is a tax status, not a business strategy. And so so at the core, we're all businesses. And so Drucker is, who is your customer? What do they value? What's your plan? What are your results? And you have to do that, whatever your tax status is.
Nice. I like that. Yeah. So is that the way you all think of yourself?
So
or are you going to go different?
I consistently look at this issue of multiple missions. And it's sort of my general observation over looking at this for the last 10 years, that if you really want to advance the social, environmental health mission, ultimately you have 2 advantages if you choose the nonprofit status. And one is that I don't have to worry about taking away from my mission to produce immediate returns for my owners. But more importantly, it is the only business where people give you free money. and it is true. I mean, I have never been in a business before,
Right.
other than nonprofit, where somebody said to me, well, Ethel, you want to open up a plant? Here's the money to open a plant. Now make it profitable. But my initial capital is all free. They don't want their money back. It's worse, it's a low interest loan, but in most cases. And the goal then becomes, okay, that's my competitive advantage, is that low cost or free money. And I take that competitive advantage and create a sustainable nonprofit, create revenue producing modules within my nonprofit. But ultimately, if your social mission, I'll call it, is on the forefront, then why not take advantage of that, true competitive advantage?
But it's, your model is more a hybrid model that seems to do both. And that's what's really interesting to me. That seems to be where the action is now.
I think the hybrid, but still almost all the hybrids I see have chosen the nonprofit status just because, I mean, this is a world where, and I think these guys speak about this better than I can, philanthropists are jumping on themselves to fund these sort of nonprofits. I mean, there are now, there's the
I'd like to know where they are.
well, there's the Orange County Fund. Look, there's no doubt Goodwill has an easier time raising money because it shows people it leverages that money. And it says, look, we're not, forget about using every dollar you give. We're using every dollar you give plus all of this other dollars. And I think there's a tremendous advantage.
How much time do you spend just raising money?
Probably more than 50% of my time.
That is there's a statistic that.
How about you?
Yeah.
Less, but we're trying to scale. I do think it comes down to how you want to capitalize your organization. I think to some degree you can get free capital, but if you really want to scale, I think you start getting to your scale